Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Rashi Himalaya and today I want to swatch for you 8 Colourpop blushes. This formula from Colourpop really rivals some high-end blushes, and so irrespective of the price, I know they're very affordable, but irrespective of the price, these blushes deserve some attention because the color selection as well as how they apply, how they look on the cheek, they are more or less a high-end formula and I absolutely love them. I've been dying to get more shades. The only problem with the Colourpop website is often these blushes are out of stock, or at least the shades that you want tend to be out of stock. If you're really interested in some of these shades, do check out where they're currently in stock. If not, make sure you hit that button where they notify you when something comes in stock. Anyway, let's get into these swatches. I'm so excited for you to see these shades. They're stunning on brown skin. They apply and blend so beautifully. They're long wearing. They apply really well on top of unset foundation. So you'll see me do swatches on top of an unset foundation and you'll see they apply really well. They also apply really well on top of a set foundation. So if you were to go in and add some powder, then apply these, they also apply fine. I will recommend that you apply them on an unset foundation just because then you're going to get more of that creamy formula and you're almost going to get that cream blush look. Lastly, this is an amazing formula for people that have oily combo skins because they're not very emollient. So unlike cream blushes, they're not going to sit on your skin and make your skin super shiny or greasy, which is amazing. First up is the shade Quarters. So this is the shade from Colourpop that I've had the longest. I've had this for so long, I have no idea how long it's been. My favorite shade out of all these blushes that I own. I absolutely love this formula. You can see this is a satin formula from Colourpop. It has very sophisticated sheen. There is some shimmer in it, but it's super sophisticated. This blush looks and feels like a very expensive high-end blush when it's actually not. And I think if you have brown skin, I highly recommend picking up this shade. Now let me just pop this on for you. Now I have shown this shade on my channel before, but of course I'm going to pop this on for you. So I'm just taking Wayne Gross brush number 01. I'm just going in here. Now I don't have a set foundation or anything. I'm just using my Smashbox today. And I'm just going to stipple this on. How pretty is this color? And yes, it has a bit of a sheen, bit of a shimmer in it, but honestly, it doesn't look obvious. Like you won't be able to tell that there's shimmer in this formula. It just gives a beautiful sheen. I'm going to apply a little bit more. So if there's one shade that I want you to get from Colourpop, it is Quarters. Yes, it is stunning. All right, so this is the shade Quarters. Next up, I have the matte finish. Now this comes in this red packaging and the shade is called She's in Bold. This is another very beautiful shade. I'll pop that on. This is a beautiful blush for summer as well. Now this is a matte finish. This one has absolutely no shimmer. You see that color? Oh my god, you can see how vibrant that is. This is so pretty, perfect for summer. And that right there is She's in Bold. So next up is the shade Overdramatic. I quickly want to compare it to the previous shade that I had. This is She's in Bold and this one is Overdramatic. You can see how different these shades are. Now I'm going in with Overdramatic and I'm going to pop that on this cheek. I love how brown and earthy this shade is. Oh, I have to say, Colourpop has some of the most amazing shade selection. I find that with their lipsticks as well, it's like the shades they come up with are truly beautiful, if not somewhat unique. The sad thing is often these blushes are sold out on their website, so they can be a little bit hard to source, but if you keep your eye on them, you can grab them. So this is the shade Overdramatic. I love it. It works so beautifully on my skin tone. This one is matte as well. It has absolutely no shimmer. And this differs, it looks quite similar to Quarters, but it is very different. Let me just compare that side by side. We have Quarters, which is a satin formula. It has that slightly golden sheen. And then we have Overdramatic. Now, if you don't like any sort of sheen and you want that very similar look, go ahead and pick up the Overdramatic. That might be a better option for you. I'm going to apply a little bit more. And this texture is so beautiful, so soft. They blend in so easily. I mean, you can see that. I'm not blending them out too much, just because I really want you to see the color. So this is the shade Overdramatic. Stunning, absolutely stunning. Next up is the shade Swift. You can definitely see that the shades that I've selected, I've gone for those really earthy, warm tones. This one is absolutely another one that is very earthy, but it's a lot deeper than Overdramatic, and it's not as warm, it's not as orange. A deep reddish terracotta shade. Yeah, definitely has those very reddish brown undertones. Overdramatic, and then we have the shade Swift, which is a little bit more muted. It's more of a deeper shade. I would definitely say this is kind of like a reddish terracotta. And this is the shade Swift. This is the matte shade as well. Next up is the shade Growth Flirt, which is definitely a beautiful, beautiful pink. That is the shade right here. This is also a matte shade. I only have one satin shade, which was Quarters that you saw. I really want to get more satins, but I feel like the satins that I've seen on Colourpop website, they're either sold out or they're shades that I don't really want. If you have some favorite satin shades apart from Quarters that you know of, please let me know, because I would be keen to get more of that formula. Now this is a beautiful vibrant pink. You can see how that looks on my cheek. I love it. It's perfect for summer. Very vibrant pinky colors just look very youthful on the skin. So this is the shade Growth Flirt. I do want to compare this right next to Cruel Intentions, which I'm going to pop on this side. So this is Growth Flirt, and have a look at Cruel Intentions. Cruel Intention is more mauve, more muted. Growth Flirt is definitely a more of a vibrant pink. So this is the shade Cruel Intentions. Now I know I said it looks in the pan like a muted mauve, but I don't think it applies like muted mauve. It definitely applies like a warmer, brighter pink. So stunning. If I had to pick between either of those two pinks, I think I would pick this one. What do you guys think? It has almost like this purple or this lilac undertone. I think this shade is really beautiful. So I'm going to grab a little bit more and just going to add a little bit more so you can see the color. So right here is Cruel Intentions. And then this is Growth Flirt. Cruel Intentions, Growth Flirt. They are very different blushes. By the way, if you love my content and you would like to support my channel, you can actually buy me a coffee. So I'll pop the link right here where you can do that, and of course in the description box below. If you do choose to buy me a coffee, just know that I'm an avid coffee drinker. Even my husband is not allowed to talk to me until I've had one cup of coffee in the morning. But anyways, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Of course, let's continue with the swatches. The next shade I want to show you is this very pretty shade called Yes She Did. Just to let you know, you don't need to get all of these blushes. I'm showing you these different options so you can see which ones you really like and then purchase that one. So just because I do a lot of swatches on my channel, I'm doing them so that you can compare the shades, you can decide which color you may want to purchase. It's not for you to purchase everything, so just know that. So I'm gonna go into Yes She Did. So Yes She Did, as you can see, is definitely a pink. It's quite funny because this color, when you see it in the pan, it looks really brown, but it is most definitely a pink. It is a warmer pink, and I think this is one of those shades that is just going to be flattering on many, many skin tones. Especially if you have warm skin, I don't think you'll run into any issues with this shade. Very pretty. And of course, if you're confused how these compare to some of these other ones I've already shown you, check out those hand swatches that I showed you earlier in the video. So next up is one of those shades that I've been wanting to try for such a long time. This is a shade called Between the Sheets. This is a very old shade from Colourpop, and I really didn't think it was going to look this light. So I'm going to pop this on this side. You can see that. So it's most definitely a nude pink on my skin tone. So I'm not really a fan of this shade. I feel like when I saw it online, it kind of swatches better online than how it looks on my skin. Of course, I can still wear this shade and it still looks quite pretty, but it's not one of my faves. And I have to, in fact, apply quite a lot for this shade to be visible on camera. In real life, I don't really have to apply this much to see the color. So that's the shade right here, Between the Sheets. I am back. What I've got on my cheeks right now, I've actually mixed two blushes. So I've got the shade Swift all over my cheeks, so that's kind of like what's everywhere right up into my cheekbone, kind of like a base color to give my skin some warm tones. And then I've gone in with the shade She Is in Bold, and that is the shade that I've got on the apples of my cheek and then slightly blended. That is what matches my lip color, and this combo together, amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed those swatches. I am a big fan of these Colourpop blushes. Now, I also have some Colourpop lipsticks that I would love to swatch for you guys as well. If you're interested in that, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. See ya!